Hello, this is Daytime Today. I am James Law Jr. of JLJ Media. And I'm admittedly for me, because of so many bad experiences, I'm on Twitter only mostly to post what I'm doing in terms of my channel. I post my shows on there, I post things on there. I don't really do much else on there. I may retweet a few retweets, may comment on a few things. I don't even scroll that much anymore. I was kind of like, okay, I just put stuff on it because it's become such a toxic environment. But every once in a while, I'll see something really good on here, and I will, or funny, and I'll do that. After I had my own trials, tribulations on that channel, but I understand Twitter is a source. I have followers and fans on Twitter, so of course I want to interact with them on some level. I do some stuff on Instagram, it's there. So some stuff was brought to my attention yesterday. I had no idea what was going on. I had no idea, and I started seeing it. So one of the things, which is why I'm talking about it, is because it does involve the daytime Emmys. Victoria Grace, who plays Wendy Shin, was up for Younger Reformer and had to rescind due to some rule violations and misunderstandings and all what it doesn't even matter, whatever. So she had to pull out. She wrote a really nice, graceful thing. It's graceful, I should say graceful. She showed grace and how she had to pull out. Well, that left three performers left, two child performers and Eden McCoy, my friend. And so this is where the hypocrisy of Twitter comes in. It always shocks me, but it doesn't shock me at the same time. And so I want to talk about. I want to talk about you guys because I know you guys are going to comment. You're going to tell me how you feel either way. Because I'm seeing on Twitter, it's very divided. It's very divided. And I'm seeing people weigh in who are writers and people in the public eye. It's so funny. So Twitter was meant to bring people together, right? And for me as a Gen Xer, in the 80s, we had stars that they were like they seemed so far away, untouchable. You just couldn't in terms of meeting them or having a conversation about like what kind of butter you use was so far fetched. I mean, just would never. I mean, Michael Jackson is like could imagine Madonna would imagine. But now, because of places like Twitter, you can actually talk to your favorite celebrities, your favorite stars, your favorite soap people. Before, like in the 90s, so I started having message boards. It was a whole thing where you go on a message board in a community and say all these different things. It wasn't really out public. It was public. I mean, message boards are still public, but not public. Because a lot of us didn't do message boards. Not everybody's on Reddit. It's like that. But with Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, which are way more, and TikTok, which are way more public. But back then, it was maybe in a group chat somewhere. It barely people debate and say things and whatever in there, and that was it. Well, now you have your favorite soap actors, your very daytime actors, on the same platform as the regular person or viewer who watches these shows. So you would think that for me, I'm like, that's a great thing. I could talk to who, I mean, I talk to Christian Alfonso or, Peter Recco or some people, just people that I admire, and I get to actually talk to them and have conversations online and make connections with Reese Bernard. You think it'd be a great thing, but over and over again, we're seeing how ungreat it is. It's this whole it's I mean, and everyone knows this. It's like it's not a secret. That's what's so incredible. It's not a secret. It's not getting any better. It's like I don't know if it's getting worse. It's just like it's always just it's there, but it's not getting any better. But like we have our celebrities that are us all on the same platform interacting. And because I feel like I'm part of two worlds, I'm not super famous. Like how people don't know who I am, but I'm famous enough in certain circles that I know how they feel. I've been attacked. I know how they feel like, but I also know how regular folks feel like too. It's like I see both. I see both sides, kind of this whole thing. So I want to break it down. So the thing that I saw the last couple of days, are going crazy. Marguerite McCoy actually clapped back at some people who were saying she should be embarrassed or something. Just they wrote some stuff that wasn't positive about her still being nominated for a daytime Emmy. And so somehow it came to her attention. That's a whole other, that's whatever. And she responded. So half the folks are like, go girl, which I actually agree. I'm on her side. The other half like, how dare you have a big platform? And now those people are being attacked and booked. So this is the problem with Twitter. So let's break this. Let's break this down. Let's bring it down to base levels. So someone in the public eye, just say me. I say, okay, I go, okay. I'm in the public eye. I'm doing my thing. Someone writes, I love James Lott Jr. and his hosting. It's a positive tweet. Someone else writes, I hate James Lott Jr.'s hosting. He should be embarrassed every time he goes on the screen. He is just so horrible. Negative tweet, positive tweet. Okay. Now, this makes it very clear. It's the part that's also causing a stir on Twitter. They didn't at me. They didn't do a tweet and say at James Lott Jr. 1. They didn't do that, or James Lott Jr., whatever my number is. They didn't do it. They just tweeted out there. My name is out there. They put out to their people for a reason. It could be they generally feel that way. It could be they want more likes and follows. And again, if I do this, there'll be more engagement, which is smart. Or any other reason. I don't know who knows. Same for the negative one. Maybe they generally feel that way. Maybe they just want, tweets and who knows. But this is makes this very clear. They didn't tag me in the post. But it's out there. Now, this is where it's very interesting. So the positive tweet goes out. And now for me as James Lott Jr., we know Twitter, the algorithms are so weird these days that I'm getting tweets sometimes from people I don't even follow. They're not even in my sphere of reference. Maybe because they know somebody that I know somebody and know somebody. I mean, who knows? I just feel like I get all the social media, the algorithms are so weird. So I'm getting people, whatever. So there's times because I follow certain subjects like soaps or daytime, it may pop up in my feed just naturally on my timeline. Oh, but what is this? There are people who I've muted that sometimes their stuff still pops up in my timeline. Like I muted that. Why am I seeing it? Or someone brings it to your attention. James, you see this tweet? Someone says they love you. Or one of your fans, maybe, or you could be looking at yourself. I could be looking at myself, like, hey, what's wrong? Let's see what's going on with James Lott Jr. on Twitter. Either way, it comes to my attention. I see it. I quote tweeted or retweeted, like, thank you so much. You're such a great person. Thank you so much. I love the fans. It goes out there, becomes a huge hit. Now, if it's a positive tweet, no one's going to jump on you and go, how dare you, James, retweet that? How could you retweet that? They just want to say it in public. They just want to say they didn't come to you and say it. They just want to say it inside. Like, no one ever says that. That never happens. No one ever says that. But it's a positive tweet, so it's all good. Now, with the negative tweet, I have found no one wins in the end. In the end, it's just circles. It's just circles and circles and circles. But just for the sake of this, I find out this tweet. And my thing was, if you tweet something negative about a popular person, a lot of times they have fans. They will either they're going to come back at you, and many of those fans actually are in my reference or whatever, and then I'll see it. So either way, a negative goes out, and then we have to decide: can we say something? Should we say something? Do we say something? I used to always clap back all the time. I used to always just clap back, like, fuck you, blah, blah, I just clap back all the time. Then I learned I even start being selective, and that's the thing. And you start learning. But I learned it didn't matter if I was selective or I was in the right. Whenever I clap back, that person or persons or whoever's involved in all that shenanigans suddenly was the victim. Your following is bigger than mine. Now you're coming at me. Like all this stuff. I'm like, but you said it. So to me, that's the opposite. Now everybody's coming in. Now they're coming after me. And what's going on? So my bigger question always is to people, yes, well, the bigger thing is, yes, you can say whatever you want. I always say my page is not a democracy, it's a dictatorship. I say whatever I want. But my thing is, when you say stuff, whether you at somebody or not at somebody, whether it's positive or negative, it goes out into the ether. It's out there. So do you just expect nothing to have come of it? Or is this also, see, I think some of these are faux outrage things, but it's just a ploy. So I think some of this is just a ploy because they just want attention. I really believe that. They just want attention. They're lonely, whatever, they want attention. This is all attention. So they play it all off, and then they know folks will side with them, whatever. But maybe there are some folks who do they really not get that when you say, when you put out there, when anyone's put anything out there, it is out there. Pictures, likes, and we're seeing it over and over again. It's out there. I call it verbal diarrhea sometimes. Like, do we have to say everything we feel on social media? We've gotten to this point where that's all we do. People do. And I say we, I mean the royal we. Do we have to say everything? Okay. Do we have to say how we feel about everything on social media? I guess for some people, the answer is yes. And certain generations, the answer is yes. We're seeing it. I'm not making nothing up. It's out there. So then, do you think there aren't any consequences to what you say out there? We see that all the time too now. And so that's what's I know I'm highly aware of that. That whatever, like me putting out this video could cause controversy or not. I get it. Any show that I do, any audio drama I put out there, anything that I do, any writing I put out there, any shows, any music, it's all up for scrutiny or love. It can go either direction. And so I try to be as mindful as I can in what I actually say to people or respond to stuff sometimes. But I do know that if I respond and respond a certain way, possibilities of things can come up. And I won't feign, victimhood or like, oh my God, it's happening. Like, no, if I say something negative about somebody, I feel like it's a no-brainer. Now, in terms of actors and people in public eye clapping back, I'm like, they have a right to. Again, we're all people. They have a right to say something. You mentioned their name. You mentioned their work. You mentioned their person. It could be, Lizzo claps back all the time. People get mad at her about her weight stuff. She has a right to clap back. She has a right to say something. She's kind of, or defend herself or assert her position. She has a right to do that. I think, personally. It's this whole thing of, well, no, you're the public eye, so you guys shut up and just take it. We can say whatever, this is an age-old thing. We can say whatever we want about you, but you're supposed to just sit there and let us do it and not say anything. Now, there are some actors, people who don't really care. They're not really on social media. They don't care. And for me, a lot of times, I don't care either. It's whatever. It is what it is. Because again, no one wins. That's kind of the price. That's the problem. It's just an unending circle that no one wins. I was thinking about recently the Eric Braeden, even Longoria thing that happened. And Eric Braeden is very open about how he feels about everything. And like Nancy Lee Grahn or like Ingo Rademacher or like there's some people they're always speaking. Daniel God, they're always speaking. Well, on either side of the aisle, they speak on whatever they feel like. And Eric Braeden gave no fucks about his comments, and people praised him and went after him. But the bottom line was he was trying to defend the soap opera genre because it doesn't get a lot of defining, it doesn't get a lot of defense. And it's always this cutesy kind of like, I was in a soap opera, oh my God, like that kind of stuff. It's like, no, we're trying to say some really good work. But Eric doesn't care. He stands by his stuff. You don't care. Nancy don't care either. She stands by her stuff. She says it. So it's this whole thing of we should just shut up and take it or not say anything or not comment. I don't agree with that at all. It's just like you can say whatever you want, we can say whatever we want. But again, on both sides, we know there are consequences and there are things that can happen on each side. So I just always implore people to think about what they're saying when they put it out there. Like, is it really that necessary? For something out there, and why are you doing it? In some cases, I think it is for attention. I live with all my heart. And other times, it may be innocent. You may be just like, I just want to share with my group and on Twitter that I just don't like James's hosting. And maybe I do feel embarrassed for him. Maybe they do for no reason, whatever. But if I choose to say something back, then I have a right to do that. If I want to say it to you, I have a right to do that also. And if some fans get upset, they have a right to get like again. You see what I'm saying? It's like this whole cycle. But just once again, it just redefines why I'm not on Twitter as much. It just reevaluates why I look at it and just go, God, these people are just like, because not just on Twitter either, Facebook groups. There's some crazy stuff going on in Facebook groups over stuff. Instagram, I guess there's stuff going on Instagram. I don't really see it that often, but with Twitter, it seems to be the place that everyone seems to agree it's kind of toxic, but everybody's on it. And so it's like one of those weird phenomenons. It's like everyone's on there, everybody sees it, and that's that. So that's my 2 cents. Love it or hate it, that's just whatever. That's my 2 cents. I stand with Eden, so I don't care. And I just think, and I also stand with Victoria Grace. So obviously, someone didn't do their job, and whatever. Something happened in communication. It's a shame when rules are, I don't know, not read or whatever. But yeah, I guess that's all I'll say today. Daytime Today is on all social media platforms. It's also on all streaming services and on YouTube at JLJ Media. I'm sure this will all die down, and there'll be something new after this. And every day, it always so something is that you can almost count on that too. This will die down. This will be whatever, and the next thing will happen, of course. And when the next thing happens, I will be here to talk about it. Bye.